Hi everyone. So we are here to present our OG business plan. I'm Satnara. We have Gabriel, Unaiza, Gurvansh, Gina, and Brenna. I will let Gabriel present the next slides.
Thank you so much. Okay, now a little bit of agenda for today. Now we're going to talk about 1G, One Global, getting into the Canadian market. This is a business plan, right? So we will start with overview about One Global. Then we'll talk about their applications, their products and services. Then we're going to talk about market analysis for OG money, OG regulations, health, play, and travel. Then talk about the barriers to entry on the market, the current marketing trends, and then some suggestions on marketing strategy based on the barriers to entry and current marketing trends, and finish up with a conclusion. Now about One Global, it was founded in 2004 in Kuwait as a small software development startup. And now it's a multinational tech company operating in more than 16 countries. But why Canada is a good place to go? A good place for One Global to go because of the strategic market fit. Canada has a strong, stable economy with high demand for innovative tech, large and diverse business landscape, so it means a bigger growth for One Global. Some government incentives for companies like that work with AI and digital innovation, and because of the multicultural and immigrant-driven workforce that aligns with OG's global culture, because they're in more than 16 countries, right? Now, some of their applications, but first, what is the differentiation in OG's products? OG offers a wide suite and scalable line of products. So, what does it mean? It means that it goes for a small startup or to a big company, just like Nestle, for example. Everyone can work with the OG product. It's innovative, so they are already working with AIs, and it's customizable, so all kinds of business can use it. Now let's talk about the products. OG Stack is a software that integrates all stakeholders on a business via digital collaboration data sharing hub. So it's basically a platform that brings everyone together, right? OG Business is a multi-currency payment platform for e-commerces, for mobile, and for POS support. OG Think is a platform that uses AI and data analytics to uncover business trends and improve decision making based on the data. OG Hub is a startup incubator that offers mentorships, workshops, and funding access to small business. OG Capital is a venture capital that supports the high growth potential startups. So when they identify that a startup on GitHub has high potential for growth, they get it and offer more money, right, to grow it. Another products that we're going to talk later is OG Money, Health, and Play and Travel. I'll start off with OG Money. So OG Money, the electronic payment industry in Canada is dominated by the five major Canadian banks: BMO, CIBC, RBC, Scotiabank, and TD. These banks allow for online banking, mobile payments, and electronic money transfers, leading to a widespread adoption of electronic payment systems by Canadians and a chokehold on the market. Most Canadians use credit and debit cards for transactions, and many also use digital wallets, contactless payments. Cash is used for small transactions, and checks are typically only for B2B transactions. Now, I'll pass it to my colleague to talk about OG money regulations.
Thank you, Gabriel. So, talking about OG money regulation, the e commerce industry is regulated by the Bank of Canada, Payments Canada, and FACAC. Payments processing companies must follow laws regarding security, consumer protection, anti crime measures, privacy, reporting, and record keeping, as well as registration. So I will pass it to Unaiza to talk about the rest of the OG health, play, and travel.
Hi, so I'm going to be talking about the three regulations, as Christina just said: OG Health, Play, and Travel. For OG Health, there are existing telemedicine apps in Canada. However, it is still a new and promising market. Many Canadians are moving away from cities into rural areas, so telemedicine makes healthcare more accessible. However, telemedicine apps may not be covered under OHIP, so the cost might stop some Canadians from its use. For OG Play, there are many streaming services in Canada that range in content, price, and availability. So OG Play would have to make sure to stand apart from competitors. The Online Streaming Act requires foreign streaming services to donate 5% of their Canadian revenue to support the Canadian broadcasting system. And for OG Travel, various travel apps available for Canadian travelers for various availability. Ability. OG Travel's integration with MasterCard is an asset as it is more convenient for Canadians. This industry also has a few regulations, so it will be easier for OG Travel to participate in the industry. Due to the situation with the United States currently, Canadians have and will continue to travel to the US less in the coming months. This is a problem as the United States have historically dominated the Canadian travel market for foreign countries, so people may be traveling and use the app a lot less. So for the next slide, I'm going to pass it to Christina. She will talk about barriers to entry.
Thank you, Naiza. So now let's look at the key barriers to entry for OG Solution and OG Stack as they expand into Canadian market. First, cultural and market fit. OG headquartered in Kuwait, where Arabic is a primary language. To effectively connect with Canadian consumers, we must localize our content, marketing, and customer experience. Hiring Canadian marketing experts and cultural consultants will help us tailor our approach to local expectations and preferences. And secondly, trust and brand credibility. Since we are a new market to Canada, building trust is a major priority. Canadian consumers value transparency, authenticity, and even social responsibility. We'll focus on honest branding, real customer testimonials, and collaboration with Canadian influencers to create a credibility and relatable brand image. And thirdly, we'll talk about high competition. In Canada's apparel and tech market, which is well developed with many strong local and global competitors, uh, we have to differentiation. We have to use a very strong differentiation strategy in OG's unique urban streetwear style to commit to sustainability and integration of fashion and technology. These elements will help us carve out a distinctive identity in a crowded space. Fourth, legal and regulatory challenges. Operating in Canada means adhering to the law, such as personal information, protection, and electronic document acts, or even PIPEDA. We'll need regulation legal support to ensure our data handling, e-commerce, and consumer protection policies are fully compliant with Canadian regulations. And finally, the startup costs. Entering a new market involves significant investments, especially in digital infrastructure, logistics, and potential retail space. To reduce financial risk, our strategy involves a phased rollout, starting with online sales and target marketing before considering physical retail locations. These barriers are real, but with careful planning and execution, OG can successfully establish itself in the Canadian market. So I will pass it down to Unaiza to speak about the current market trends.
So for the current market trends, as OG looks to extend into the Canadian market, it's essential to understand the trends shaping the industry it plans to enter. Canada is experiencing a big shift toward digital solutions, especially in finance, healthcare, entertainment, and travel. So, one of the three market trends that I will talk about are digital payments and e commerce, growth of AI and blockchain, streaming services, and online media. For digital payments and e-commerce, Canadians are using digital payment options more than ever, and most people now prefer contactless payments and digital wallets like Apple Pay, Google Pay. Since about 65% of Canadians are between the ages of 15 and 64, a large group of tech savvy and has more money to spend. The demand for smooth, fast payment systems is growing, and OG Business can meet that need. So, for growth of AI and blockchain, artificial intelligence is a big focus in Canada. The government is encouraging companies to use AI through funding and tax benefits. Businesses use it for customer data, fraud prevention, and automation. And OG's AI tools offer precisely that. Blockchain is also growing up in popularity, especially in finance and security. For streaming services and online media, Canada already has many streaming platforms, so OG Play will have to compete with services like Netflix, Disney Plus, and others. The government now requires international streaming services to put 5% of their Canadian revenue towards supporting Canadian media content. To stand out, OG Play will need to offer something different like exclusive content or smart features like AI recommendations. Now I'm going to pass it to Gabriel.
Thank you so much. Now, based on the current market trends and the barriers to entry, we created a suggestion of marketing strategy OG should use to get into Canada. The branding goal should be seen as a global, trusted, and innovative tech company. So they would need to engage in tech events like fairs and other personal relation activities, like the webinars and podcasts we'll talk later. They should reflect the diversity, innovation, and ethics in the campaign because it reflects the Canadian values that we saw on the barriers to entry, and create a fancy graphic communication to resonate the innovative core. The positioning goal should be seen as a premium global tech provider with proven adaptability. So, in order to do it, they should showcase success stories from global markets like they did in Europe, emphasize custom solutions and relationship building to position OG as a partner, not just a vendor. So, focus on the relationship selling more than in the transactional selling, right? And finally, the sales of the sales channels that they should use, and the B2B, of course, they should use a direct sales team in Canada that understand the Canadian conversations, uh, create strategic partnerships with like consulting firms, go to trade shows and events, so like the Collision Conference and the FinTech Forum that happens in Montreal, if I'm not wrong. And on the internet, they should create a Canadian landing page, invest in Google, LinkedIn, and YouTube ads, and attend to podcasts and webinars, and run their own also to bring more people to know about their company. Now, a conclusion statement. So we believe that One Global is well equipped to enter in the Canadian market with flexible digital solutions and global experience. By aligning with the local needs and forming strategic partnerships, OG can successfully launch and grow across key sectors in Canada. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching and have a good week and a good break. Bye.